Don't know if you guys can see or hear me. Let me know in the comments. I got this kind of set up on my phone, my laptop next to me to read the comments and reply. Right, it's showing now on my laptop, so yeah, if you guys can see me, then let me know if you can hear me. I got it going over there too. Let me turn that down. That's better. Well, it says there's 5 people, 6 people on, but no one's talking, so we'll see. Hey Lucas, how you going? Oh, well, I'm waiting anyway. I can try change it to portrait. Let's have a look and see. There's too many different options here. Hey Ryan. Well, does it just show how tiny on your TV or screen or something? Gotta figure this shit out. Well, that's not working. Gotta. Oh, I think we're stuck this way. Doesn't want to play ball. Hey Flynn. Yeah, we have talks about doing that, but I'm in WA Perth, he's in Queensland. So there's a bit going on. You know, like one's going to have to transport a car, which is costly, or drive it over, and we're both on E85, so that's going to be a bit of an issue. But we do have plans to either meet somewhere kind of in the middle, so I think it's Red Centre, or we might go down to Victoria, do something there. We both also wouldn't mind heading to Cootamundra for one of Motive's events, because that'd be pretty cool to get a V6 commie there in the scene. You know, there's Gun 38T's been there once or twice, but if Dane and I from Cornfed Boost could get there as well, that'd be pretty cool. So it's something we've talked about, but that's a lot of planning ahead and in the future. Obviously this still needs to be tuned and everything. He's got his own things that he's going on at the moment, and he's talking about this new version, I guess, where he's going full race spec. So, you know, there's things still to come. I'll leave it at that. Alright, well, Lucas, I'll sort it out for the next one, because I've set it up so that it would be this camera mode, and it won't let me change it. I tried rotating it, but it rotated the whole screen. Hey Tom, I would. Yeah, it was tuned, but it's not yet. Hey Luke, cheers for those comments, that's nice. Adam, it does run, but because I need to bed the rings in, Justin, my tuner at BYE, he wants to bed it in on the dyno, so I'm not starting it at all, just only if I need to, until it gets to him. So At the moment I am pushing it forwards and backwards. If I do need to drive it, then I will. But yeah, it will start and run, no issues at all. Yeah, and as Corn-Fed Boo said in the comments there, red center nats might be the go. Hey Mindfreak, I don't know if you just caught everything I just said. I would start it, but need to bed the rings in. So next live stream I do, hopefully I can start it then. It'll be a lot better. Yeah, like Corn-Fed Boo said, I like to push it. Why drive it when you can push it? Well, this is actually a pretty good turnout. I didn't actually expect this many of it. And saying there's 13, 14 people watching, I expected about 3, and that'd be about it. So, top effort for everyone who's here and watching, appreciate that. I didn't think a small YouTube channel like myself would get this many views, especially on a Sunday arvo. I definitely got to try get this camera flipped though. An older Buick, so I'm assuming you mean like out of a VN to VR. So the internals are different, but yeah, it's very similar in the same sense. There's a lot of people who have built the Buicks and make a lot of power. If you have a look at, if you search up Stavjet Industries on Facebook, there's a guy there who's got a 4.2 stroker in a VN or VP, I don't remember, but it's a gold colour one, it's his drag car. Yeah, that flies. Nathan Kyrie over in Melbourne, Victoria, whichever one, in Victoria anyway. He, what do you call it? He did an NA build as well, I think a turbo one, so a fair few people have built them and they do make good power, but I haven't personally had any experience with it, so I can't comment on that. Stavjet, S-T-A-V Jet. I've had a few people message me on Messenger saying they're not able to comment. If you're on a phone, I think if you scroll down, you can tap there. If you're on a computer, it's to the side of the window or underneath, and I think you might have clicked the 3 dots and then open a chat window or something. I'm not too sure of that. Hey Flynn, so you always get mixed opinions on whether it's worth it or not. It is a lot of money to do it right, and you can do it on the cheap and still make good power, but it's this or that. Personally, I think it's a mixture of both. I think it is worth it, and I also think it is a big waste of money. Depends if you like it, but look, they still make great power. They're very torquey, and even if it's just as a daily, it makes a great car to drive around and get on a bit of boost and make it flutter a little bit or whatnot, just to enjoy the sound. They do sound like absolute dog shit though. Like, yeah, it's still an Ecotec unless you go all out with, you know, special porting and equal length headers. Hey Thomas, few engines now is like the one amount I've been through. Yeah, exactly what Corn-Fed Boo said. A lot of money in any build. Is it worth it in the end? That's entirely opinionated, up to yourself. And as Adam said, yeah, price comes with quality. You want decent stuff, you're going to pay. Don't do things on the cheap and expect it to last or be surprised when it blows up. Killer Lucas, I'll be looking forward to watching that video, seeing how you go about it and getting it all in the car and running. So still got people saying they can't comment. I'm pretty baffled about how you can do that. From my end, I can view comments and have all the options and crap. I really want to figure out how I can rotate the screen so it's viewable, but I don't know. Is the camera quality clear enough? Because it's just the front camera of my phone at the moment. Yeah, Dale, the people can read the comments, but some people aren't able to comment for some reason. That there's no option, from what I can gather. So what Ryan said is on his phone he couldn't comment. No, sorry, on a laptop or computer he couldn't, but on the phone you can. That's weird. I don't know. There's a setting somewhere I can change. Doesn't look like it. Let me see what this does. No, that's just changing camera. Nope. What? Still won't let me rotate it. It just locks. Oh, we're stuck like this for this one. Next one I'll do it in landscape. So what Adam has said there, if you use the Facebook shared link that I put on either the car page or my personal Facebook account, you won't be logged into YouTube, so you can't comment. So go into YouTube using your account, whether it's the web browser or the app on your phone, and then you should be able to comment from there. What has everyone been up to this weekend? Anything interesting? Anyone working on any cars or any builds in the works at the moment? Wary, I'm assuming it's meant to be very good. Not too bad, mate. How about yourself? Better now, I've got an export in my hand. Lucas, I'm not too experienced in building heads myself. I can deassemble them and assemble them back together. Just normally, nothing performance based. I've always sent them off to people to get done who actually know what they're doing, so probably not the best person to ask for tips on heads. That old Kinetic, still walkabout, say, not in stock anywhere. Hey Luke, so when you say relocating things, what are you talking about specifically? Because I've done a fair few relocations in this version. So what part are you on about? Yeah, it's the best thing to do, Lucas. Ask around, ask questions. That's everything that I have learned from this has either been reading forums, Facebook groups, Googling the crap out of stuff, ask like that, asking questions, just taking advice, and then obviously when I have got people to do stuff for me, I do ask questions about it, how they went about it, what they did, how they do stuff, and if they want to let me know, then yeah, that's it. Yeah, Adam, I'll do a walk around in a second. Let me just quickly answer Luke's question there. So, by pump, do you mean power steering? I converted to electric Astra. That's pretty generic. There's a post on like Just Commodores, I think it is, about it all. Yeah. So that is basically just a couple lines and then just wiring power. Coils, I originally went to LS coils, now I'm with IGN 1As. That's just simple wiring to it, make your own leads, make mounts or get mounts, bolt them in. And what did you say? Oil filter relocation, it's the same as with any car, heats the post on there. Alright, so I'll turn the camera around and do a little walk around the car. It's kind of half under the hoist, but we'll do that. So, this is going to be difficult with it in portrait mode. It's got the battery charger on it, but from the front, that's where it is. As you can see, I haven't finished with the bonnet scoop. I just got this on here so that when it gets to the dyno, it can be straight driven and whatnot. So, catch cam, overflow, both custom made by Niche. Intercooler, piping, same thing by Niche. Top rad hose, done in stainless. Bottom rad hose, which you can just see there, done in stainless. Corn fed boost, turbo manifolds. Got a Turbo Smart 50mm gate, dumped straight down. You can kind of just see it there. I've got a Bosch 82mm electric throttle body, a VZ throttle pedal, a couple Lowe's custom parts on here, just the top cap on that, the clutch reservoir, the dipstick top thing. Got a Mishimoto radiator in there. Apart from that, there's nothing too special. Yeah. And then got the new rims on the car there. Just ignore the garage that's being used, and then you can actually kind of see in here. And then that's the interior. The S1 shifter. I got my what do you call it? Power Tune Digital Plus dash in there. Shift light. It's nothing too special, but it's a very quick walk around about it. Get this back in and mounted. Luke, what do you mean by some people put hoses to a tank? So Thomas, if you're buying a VYS Pack L67 manual, L67s never came out manual from factory, they're all auto. So double check everything with the manual conversion, make sure it's all done good. Apart from that, just general maintenance, wear and tear, just make sure you're on top of it all. Let's get this up a bit. There we go. Hey, RKGarage. So intake is awesome. No, very easy to fit. So I'm not actually sure if it fits under the bonnet or not, because while this was at fabrication, I cut the hole in the bonnet and put the scoop on, put a bit of Play-Doh on top of it when I got it back and everything, shut the bonnet, and there's a 50mm gap. So my intake might actually fit under the factory hood. That hood was junk anyway, so it doesn't faze me, but I cut it. So I'm going to get another one and sit it on top, see if it fits. It might do, because I'm not a fan of bonnet scoops at all. But we'll see. Fits it fits, doesn't it doesn't. One of those things. What do you mean by Duets plugs, Lucas? Yeah, Adam Niche did an absolutely insane job. I'm definitely happy I chose him to go to. He definitely took a lot of care and time, and he actually put in a lot of extra time to make it really neat and I guess like show quality type thing. So I'm really happy with that. Yeah, Sean, fiddly bits, you know it. That's what the engine bay is. Yeah, that price is pretty good these days, Thomas. That's definitely worth that now, before nowhere near, but as you know, prices go up. how does the power steering reservoir get in the way on a Series 2? This here is a Series 2 and it was completely fine. So RKGarage, I got this custom made by another local alley specialist down here. It's exactly the same as what Proflows basically cost, budget $2,000. I had the limb and the top intake. I bought the top plate there, that was like 550 bucks. Bought a weld-on flange for the drive-by-wire throttle body, which that was cheap, that was like 50 or 60 bucks. But and obviously you got the labour for them to prepare the metal, cut everything, do this and that. So yeah, budget around $2,000 basically. Like that's what it's gonna be. It's literally mainly for looks. So yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't put my phone on silent, so every message and notification I get on my phone, you guys are hearing. But so yeah, like I was saying, with the where from, you can order them from the States, the top plate. Sometimes on eBay have them as well. I'm not too sure if many stores in Australia online stock them or they're sold pretty quickly, but just search up Holly high-rise top lid and go from there. Jesus Christ. That's going insane. Let me try turn my notifications down. No, that's media. There we go. No more annoying noises. Cheers for jumping on here, Cornfed Boost. It's good to see you on here. And enjoy your time off. Well, James, what do you rate the same power as an LS Turbo? And we'll go from there. What horsepower figure or kilowatt figure are you thinking of? Ooh, look at that sweat patch, nasty. Right, good answer, James. Ah, 1200 horsepower. So the standard cranks on these haven't been tested over 1000 horsepower. By that I mean there's been no car that's made over 1000 that's gone on the dyno. They've all been track tuned, like at the strip. So and this turbo here is a 70mm. It's a custom turbo. It's a 70mm in juicer and an 84mm X juicer. So you count it by the smaller bit, so 70mm. I'm hoping this turbo will go, oh look, 850 to 900 would be amazing. I will settle for anything that's, I want to say 800 plus, but in reality 750 plus, because it is still a small turbo. But if I went to a G42, which I will be soon, look at my, it would go 1200, I don't know, like Adam said, for once, because no one knows how far, no one knows when the crank will snap. People have snapped them at lower power, people have made a lot more power than where they snapped, but officially a recordable number, no one has made over 1000 on them yet. So we'll see. Sean, I'm talking to Pulsar at the moment with not a sponsorship, but like a semi-sponsorship type thing where they'll work out a deal for me per se for a G42. So soon, once I recover from all the cost of this. Yeah, Ryan, well, after we're going for the break-in session on the dyno, and I'll have a chat to Justin, and then we'll see where he wants to tune it when it goes back. If he reckons his dyno will hold it, if he reckons it will make enough power, which you never know. yeah, might need to go to Tune Court to dry hire his dyno. Yeah, as Cornfed said, that is a very actually valid point. I might be talking about what I want the turbo to make, but I am running Cometic head gaskets and factory size ARP head studs. Cometics are known to leak anything over 25, hit and miss, so yeah. Luke, I personally didn't make the plenum, but I bought all the parts and got one of my local alley specialists to make it up. So I got Nelge's Alley Mods to make the plenum, and then I got Niche Welding to do the rest of my fabrication. See you later, Cornfed. Cheers for jumping in on the stream. So Adam, I actually have 3 sets of ET Streets. I have a set that was my brother's, or still is my brother's, which is pretty much burnt out, which doesn't matter. Got a set of 27515s, which were basically brand new, fresh and whatnot, and one time I was at work, they decided to get an egg in the sidewall. But I have a set of 255 60 15s, ET Streets that are pretty fresh, which are all good. So for roll racing and the drags, I'm hoping, well, in reality, if my suspension setup is right, it'll definitely hold the power what the V6 can make. So I'm hoping for that. As for on the street, I don't really care about traction. I lost my license enough when I was a P-plater, so I don't really go around thrashing it on the street. Like, yeah, I'll accelerate from time to time, you know, get on boost a little bit, spool up, but I don't sit there thrashing it and whatnot. It's not worth getting the car yellow stickered for attention or losing my license again. So other than that, I literally just have like cheap Chinese crap tyres on here, so they can just fry. I don't care. Yeah, that's what I'll do for traction. What do you mean by it looks like something branded? Like it's something you can buy off a shelf or something? So MX RCO 222. So by stock, do you mean without a cam, with a cam? What do you mean by that? Because there's different answers for that. A cam does kind of make a little bit of a difference. And Adam, yeah, so I have ET Streets for the strip. They're over there, in that direction over there in my garage. So, look, I'm going to be completely open and honest here. I haven't been the best at the drags at all in the manual. I still need to perfect my launches, so I'm hoping the mile per hour should be there in this, but the ET probably won't be till I get the launches dialed in. So I'm not sure. Alright, so completely factory. Back when I had a stock motor in this, literally it was a motor that pulled out of like a wrecking yard that I pulled out. It got my heads because I had valve springs in it already. ARP head studs in, and that was it. My turbo kit, my intake manifold bolted straight onto it. I made 421 horsepower on 14.8 psi, and it had 8 degrees of timing in it. I didn't have a boost controller, so that was just wastegate pressure. So could have made more if I had a boost controller and whatnot, but completely factory head studs, factory valve springs. You could probably still make about 400 plus. The trick is with the factory ECUs, the limiter is a fuel cup, so on boost, stay off the limiter, because that is how you will crack a ringland or even the top of a piston. The pistons are probably the weakest point in them. The rods aren't the best either, but the pistons do crack and destroy themselves more than the rods do. So, yeah, that's that. How you doing? How's it going? Lucas, so no, while power guides definitely do have their place and they are great gearboxes, If I have a choice, I'll be going T400, or if I can manage to mangle the firewall enough, I will go 4L80 in that. Once the T56 and this blows, original Pamos, I'll just buy another one, but that's when they were $700. Now they're 1,500, 1,800. So at that point, I'd rather have a car off the road again and get an auto box built and be done with it. Which, look, it'd be good because I'll start winning races, but I'm not the biggest fan of. Well, there's nothing wrong with autos. I just like the feeling of a manual. That's just me. I like to lose races. But yeah, I like the overdrive as well, hence like the T400 or the 4L80. So T400 is a 3-speed, 4L80 is a 4-speed, Power Guide is a 2-speed, which, yeah. Yeah, MXR. Look, the Ecos are good, strong motors. They sound like shit, and if you thrash them and don't take care of them, they will blow up just like any other motor. But they are underrated. If you do it right, or semi-right, or whatnot, or the main thing is you have a good tune. A lot of people don't tune them. That's the issue. But they are good motors, and they do perform. That's simply it. The TR6060 would probably stand just as much chance as the T56 will. They'll still blow. Alright, so the difference between a 4L80 and a 4L60, I don't exactly know, but mainly 4L80s in the States, they come in what they call their trucks. So they're, their Chevrolet Utes and whatnot. They're a big, heavy box. They can take a lot of power, a lot of torque, especially when built. 4L60s are a lot smaller. I know some people have luck with built ones, but a lot of times I've seen built ones still just go kaput. I'll 100% go a 4L80 or T400 or a 4L60 any day, but that's just me. Yeah, Shia 36 said on idle, like, people have mistaken this as an LS on idle because of how it sounds. It's deep, it's got a good lope to it, especially with the camshaft now, it sounds off its head on idle. Then you rev it or drive it and it just turns to shit. Yeah, so that black Commodore Ute, the drift build, it is literally out the back. I could show it to you guys right now. There will be content on it soon, I'm hoping. I've got a BAS spec pulley tensioner, which I've got to whack on. I've just got to order the pulley for it, the correct ribbed pulley. I still have the harness in it for the link. I just need to find time and space where I can take it to road tune it, track tune it, dirt tune it myself. Not a lot of places will dry hire a dyno, which is understandable because they lose that tuning time. Also, I'm just a random messaging them asking to use their dyno, and I'm not a tuner, so who's to say I'm not going to blow the rods there and make a mess of a dyno, and I could just bail and not clean it. So there's a lot of things I got to think about, which is understandable. But I'm hoping soon, now that this is pretty much, like, there's a couple little things I want to do, but it's nothing major. So now that that's kind of done, I've got the Misso's car up there, which we're LS1 swapping, which I've got the LS1, I've got the conversion kit, I just need to dive into it. But now that this is mainly done, I'm going to hopefully be diving back into the Ute, and I want to get out there for some events when I'm home. Shia 36, I've no idea. I don't know much about automatics, so couldn't tell you. Dylan, I'm assuming you mean a dead stock eco with no tune. 100 horsepower. People sit on limiter. It's hard to say. Like, you boost it, you need a tune. The tune is the most important part of any build. It's like someone will spend $600 on injectors, but then they'll complain when the dyno tune's $700. You're like, what are you on about? It's the most important bit. If your car's done, and it just needs a tune. Like, wait the month and save up money. Like, this is sat here because I'm flying fly out. So this is sat here for 2 R&Rs now, ready to be tuned. But because there's no dyno time, it's fine with me. It can sit there because, like I said, the tune is the most important bit. Or in this case, bedding the rings in. Same thing. It's that's the main thing. So it's hard to say what a stock one will like. Look, yeah, £7, personally, in my opinion, is a waste of time. It's a lot of money, effort, and time gone in to put the turbo kit on and everything else for £7. Like, you're not going to get anything out in the motor. Like, the ecos wake up around 12 psi plus on like a GT35, so like a 62mm turbo. A lot of people do just do that and run it on, and a lot of people, some people do it. Luck, they slap it on and it's fine. So my advice is still always a tune. So if you're going to do that, put it on. That's on you. Like, yeah. Yeah, Thomas, I have a couple builds that so I'll give a quick rundown. So this will be ongoing. Like, it's never going to end. That the LS1 spot we'll be diving into very soon. It still needs some engine bay work, like welding all the holes up. The drift ute, there's always something going. I have the FG XR6 turbo up there, which I have a couple parts for, but I'm trying not to spend money on that because I go straight down the rabbit hole. I need it in my backyard, like that's still sand, and that is a lot of space I need to fill. So kind of like prioritize some stuff. I have a Hilux as well, which once again I wouldn't mind putting some stuff on it, but it isn't a priority. But I definitely have enough cars here to do another build. So yeah, like there'll always be stuff going on. So MXR, the quick story about this is, if you can see right there, that black, that's my VE. That's a SSV, that was my first V8. My initial plan was to turbo that, and then, but I was an apprentice at the time when I bought it. I was an apprentice when I cammed it and whatnot. Like I think it was 6 months straight. I saved hard. Like, I did 12-hour days, a 10-hour Saturday. I didn't go clubbing once. I didn't drink. I didn't go out. I actually worked, went home, went home till I saved up the money. My initial plan was to turbo it. By the time, there was one or two that were publicly shown, that these that were turboed at the time, and by the time I had the money to cam that, there was 10 or 12 popped up, and it was suddenly not like, it'd just be like, oh, it's another turbo there, cool. So I just left it cammed and whatnot, and I enjoyed it because that car, since it's been cammed, hasn't failed me. Like, that's my drift car. Event car, drift car, have fun, turn care, go out there, thrash it. And then when I was coming up to the end of my apprenticeship, I saw this pop up. This was already turboed, I didn't turbo it. This popped up, it was $8,000, which was a steal back then. It just needed a clutch. It was slipping. So I bought that as like a qualifying present to myself, and just kept fixing stuff, upgrading stuff, got hooked on it. It was different. There was only a couple in WA. There still is only a couple in WA. Most of the others have gone. There's one other one which not many people know about. That makes, I think it was $755. That's a turbo 400. That one's awesome. Love that build. The car's clean. The car's super clean as well. But it was mainly just the fact that this popped up. I saw it on Gumtree. Turbo Commodore. I couldn't say no. It was the right price. A little present to myself. So that's why. And now there is hundreds of turbo V8s, and every VE standard 6 litres making about 800, 900, 1,000 on the stock motor. So I haven't rushed to do that, which I probably will at some point, but that's really why this popped up for sale. Tons of them turboed around. Yeah, look, that was a long story, but yeah. Got to scroll up now. Yeah, Dylan, Cornfed's good. He knows how to tune him. He keeps his motors alive. So, yeah. And yeah, GD3582, yeah, you really, especially on that, you want about 12 PSI, then it will really start to wake up. Like then you'll really notice the extra power. Look, MXR, it has made a few LS owners cry, but also I've been hurt a lot by LS owners too. It goes both ways, especially the auto ones. They just get up and go while this is lagging, and you know, it was laggy, spooling, and this and that. So, but yeah, it does surprise a few people. Like before I used to roll on 100 k's an hour, fourth gear in a T56 on the freeway, put my foot down, it would just blaze tyres. It would just smoke them. Yeah, Thomas. So the Misso used to have a Nissan Qashqai that was a daily. She always liked 4Bs and whatnot. She just bought that because it was new, and this car was off the road to get redone. It was initially going to be a 5 litre. So she wanted a 4B and whatnot. I had a Discovery 1, which was manual. She knows how to drive manual, but she's only got an auto license. So she couldn't drive the Disco, and it would be nice. I wanted a nice, reliable car as well. So we traded in her Qashqai. We got a 2016 N80 Hilux. It was set up perfectly. Like everything was done apart from wheels and tires, which I bought straight away anyway, and then put a full exhaust and a tune on it. But yeah, that's her daily. We both own it 50-50, but it's her daily. And it's also like the tow rig, the parts car. It's good for the house, towing, getting stuff and whatnot. I haven't put a video on it yet because it's just a Hilux, you know, like I can't really do anything to it. Like a lot was done. I might do a small video on it, but yeah. Hey there, Spec. So the next build is continuing on with the drift U. So like I said earlier, I have the tensioner from you. I still got to get all the stuff off to send back to you as well. So I want to get that nipped up in the bud. I got to put the hydro handbrake on and tune it. Apart from that, up there is the Misso's VP, where LS1 swapping, swapping, we can call it that. So those two are the current things we'll be doing. Apart from that, I have an XR6 Turbo, which I'm dialing at the moment till this is back on the road. I don't want to dive into that because, you know, if you dive into a build, it gets costly. But yeah, mainly the drift U. I want to get that going and start obviously showing your products a bit more. So I love your work and everything's been great. Hey Nukin, or Nukin, I don't know how you pronounce that. An L67 camshaft will still work with a turbo camshaft. There's nothing wrong with them at all. If you follow me on Facebook, either it's RKGarage page or my personal one, hit me up, show me the cam specs for it, and I can let you know whether I personally, not that I'm an expert or anything, but I personally think it will be the go. But a lot of people have used the L67 ones and they've been fine. So that's pretty exciting, eh? You've got a forged setup going on. That'll be cool. Yeah, Thomas, when I do go for a good 4B unit, I will probably film that, but I don't know how early you jumped on the stream. I'm fly in, fly out, so I've only just gone to 2-in-1s. I was 3-in-1s before, so you know, once a month I'd be home, and I had a lot going on with this. I was like slaving away all the time, and then obviously I got to spend time with the missile as well and house chores, so I didn't have as much. But now I'm 2-in-1, I'm home a little bit more, so I'm hoping I can get out with some mates and hit some tracks and whatnot, and even if it's just a beach or something. And yeah, I'll try and get a video on it. Yeah, as Lucas said, I have gone to, there's a beach in WA down south called Mile Up Beach, which is one of the only 4B beaches you're allowed to still 4B on, and yeah, I did get stuck on it. I think I missed any comments there. Oh wait, I did. Yeah, Lucas, that'd be sick. I got a lot of viewers from England with the Land Rover for a couple of those videos, so whack them up. And jump on the Land Rover Facebook pages and spam the videos, because that actually helped grow the channel a little bit. Oh, can you hear the crow? That microphone must be picking it up pretty well. I didn't even notice it till you said that, and I had to listen. Yeah, Shiloh 36. It is pretty common. This one was weird. Usually the further away from the water you go, the softer it gets. This beach was different. Closer to the water, it was really soft, and the diff lock in the rear, in the Hiluxes, only turns on in 4 low. I was in 4 high and turning, so it started pegging front left wheel, rear right wheel, and it just dug down and teeter-totted. So it wasn't ideal. I got the shovel out, put it in 4 low, and it drove straight out, so it was no biggie. I think now I've got every comment. I appreciate all you guys jumping on the stream. Like, it still shows, well, it showed 19, just jumped down to 18, and the comment section's pretty lively, which is great. It's not pretty dead, so far I'm pretty happy, pretty successful first live stream. I'm going to butcher your name here, but is it Massone? So I'm an electrician. I don't know if you're in WA or Australia or wherever, but in Western Australia there's a lot of mining, especially in this place called the Pilbara, which is where I've spent most of my mining career. Now I'm in the goldfields area at the moment. So yeah, that's what I do, fly in, fly out, sparky. Construction, not maintenance, so building new mines, wiring all the stuff up. Yeah, well, because I had max trucks in the back, but I wanted to get out without using them. Just a challenge, I guess. I see you're in Vic, yeah. So in WA, there's a lot of mining, so yeah, that's what I do. Just building new mine sites, basically, which there's a lot of at the moment, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I think the crow's buggered off now. I haven't heard it. Can you guys hear all the cars driving past? Trisso, what do you use the car for mainly? Because end of the day, that's what it will come down to. And Baz spec, it is going to be a drift ute. So it's on retro. It's got a 411 with 411 diff gears with a mini spool in it. And there's over here in WA, there's a couple V6 combos that go around. One guy's just converted from Ecotech to L67. So it'll be really cool to get out there and drift with one, because we have a lot of infield stuff rather than main track, so there's a lot of tight weavy corners, so an L67 will be perfect with that instantaneous torque. So yeah, it's mainly a drift build, but I'll also take it down to Kwinana Motorplex and a couple of the burnout comps, and I'll put it on the pad as well and have a bit of fun. It'll just be something fun to do, and a car I can beat on. I've got a spare motor that I'm building at the moment, which I just filmed, which will come out next Sunday, unless I get on the dyno before then. But I've got that video in the bank of putting together an L67 bottom end with ARP hardware and my spare cam and whatnot. But yeah, cars and the kids, yeah, the neighbours out the front, they every afternoon they have some family time, which is pretty cool, and the little kids run around and play. So yeah, if you hear that, that's what it is. No, I don't think so, Lucas. No idea where that is. No dramas, Nukin, whatever it is, however you pronounce it. Yeah, Baz, I'll try to get to it. It'll be cool. I like putting your stuff out there. It's quality work. I love watching your TikTok videos too. It's actually really cool. If anyone on here hasn't already or isn't on TikTok, get on there, search up Baz Spec, because he does a lot of videos of him actually on the machinery actually doing all the stuff he does, the custom works, which is awesome to see. Instead of just seeing the finished product, you actually get to see it happen, or parts of it happen, which is pretty cool if you're interested in that kind of stuff. So just for street use, Trisso, I'd stay L67 because like the torque is basically 100% as soon as you put the throttle on. 0 to 60, L67 is going to win hands down every time. They are great. They're great fun. Yeah, I just do that. Just do what you can with the smallest pulley till you need intercooling or a cam or E85 and a tune, and enjoy that. But if you do want more power and whatnot, then yeah, turbo it. If it's just a daily in a street car, you're just nipping around, L67 every time. Hey Josh, definitely. L67 rods and pistons, nothing wrong with that. I don't know if you just jumped on, but I was saying I'm building a spare L67 setup. Stock rods, stock pistons. I'm just going to slap a cam in my spare cam. I've got new bearings. I've got ARP, all my old spare ARP hardware throughout. So far, the L67 bottom end I'm not sure if it had rod bolts. It might have, it might not. But with a cam has gone roughly 750 horsepower, which is based off 140 mile per hour at the end of a quarter. So, yeah. See you later, Aaron. Cheers for jumping on. Yeah, Lucas, we'll get round to it. We're in the same state. It's going to happen eventually. And no, I haven't seen an L67 swap to VE or VF. That'd be pretty cool. It'll be a bit of work. I've worn hats for years, hair or not. So what's the go? Is everyone off to work tomorrow? Excited? I'm wishing the weekend lasted longer. Look, it'd be a lot of money, and the CAN system that runs through everything might be an issue. You always have warnings on the dash, but it would be cool. You just got to remember though, a VE is a lot heavier than a VS to VY chassis. Oh really, Charlie? That sucks. COVID just still seems to be hitting everyone pretty hard, which is rough. I've been very fortunate. COVID's actually made my job even more secure with all the Queenslanders being stuck over there. People didn't know in mining in WA, 80% of the workforce is made up of Queenslanders basically. So since they couldn't get across here or whatnot, or in isolation, then my job's been in high demand, and yeah. Yeah, well, because it would be a humongous payment. It's like you could make a standalone setup with the no VATs ECU and whatnot, and it would run and drive, no worries. But it's just integrating it into the car that would suck majorly. So it depends if it's going to be a road car where you want the speedo, tacho, coolant level, just everything else, no warnings and beeping, and that's going to be a pain in the ass. If it's just a skidder or whatnot, then yeah, just standalone their harness and ECU, and then you're fine. That's an interesting channel name you got there. Name. It is possible. It's possible to put any motor in anything that physically fits. It's just integrating it to be road legal, which is the challenge. But if it's just for, like I was just saying there, a burnout car or whatever, then it's fine. Cheers, mate. Appreciate you jumping on the stream. Yeah, VZ is exactly the same as VT to VY. You would have to do custom engine mounts or just swap in a VT to VY front K-frame, and then it will just bolt a V6 K-frame, and then it will just bolt straight in. Is that an M80 on top of an alloy tech? Because it's kind of stupid, but hey, makes them happy, then who cares? Shane who? Or Shane from where? If you can't or don't want to say his last name. Ooh. I'm going to plug the phone back in charge before it dies actually, don't know where it's at. It's green. There we go. Yeah, because in VZ it went to the alloy tech. So, and also it went to OBD2 in VZs too. So, actually that's a very good point. I didn't think of that before. So yeah, integrating it again to the dash might be an issue. I don't know him personally, as in like in person, but we are mates on Facebook and we have talked quite a fair bit. But yeah, I do know him. Alloy Clue, you're not wrong, unless it's I think it's the LFX motor. I've seen good things with them, especially with boost. Yeah, that sounds about right. Shy of 36, just a pain in the ass. Oh, I'm pretty lucky. I got 2 days left till I go back to work, but at least it's only for 2 weeks. Goes pretty quickly, which is great. Got a couple things to still do on this, and I don't really think I've got anything I need to order, which is a nice change because yeah, it's been a lot of ordering parts and rocking up and installing them. Just got to try stay away from that from all the other cars. Too easy, Lucas. Cheers for jumping on the stream. It's not bad, still shows 14 people on here and almost an hour in. Don't know how much longer I'll go for, but let me, yeah, well, if you're watching and you can comment, let me know if you want me to keep going or if it's getting a bit tiresome, because I'm pretty cruisy. Hey Troy, so I'm an electrician. I'm fly in, fly out. Usually I'm in the Pilbara. At the moment I'm in the Goldfields. So it's been a bit of a nice change. It's not quite as hot, not as many. There's still a lot of flies, but a bit of a change. Not as much red dirt, which has been nice. James, so the black V8, I do eventually still want to turbo it, but that's a lot of money and it's completely reliable at the moment. I can just turnkey and thrash it. Yeah, it's just basically I just keep taking it to drift events and power crews and stuff like that, and you'll sit there It was my first V8, so obviously it's got that soft spot to me. It's really cool because my old man also owns a VESS, so it's kind of cool that we both have the same car. Yeah, but apart from that, not really. It's just Old Faithful. So Josh, I have come across a couple of them actually. The good heads as well have the crown on them. Look, on a stock eco, the heads aren't really going to be a limiting factor. So if you already have the heads off or plan to take the heads off and a set pops up cheap, you have them lying around, then sure, whack them on, it won't hurt. But I wouldn't go out of your way to make it happen. Turbo 6-litre Vortec in it. What do you mean? A Vortec, as far as I'm aware, is a supercharger. Hey, Cornfed's back. Not a lot, we just had a lot of talking about the car and me and whatnot, and stream's still doing really well. We peaked at about 22 viewers and we're hovering around 16 to 18. We're at 17 at the moment. We're going to go back at 18, which is pretty surprising for a little channel. Yeah, Shy, that's it. It's a weapon. Like, it's a 6-litre that's got like a stupid cam in it, and heads ported and polished, like hand ported and polished. Man, it made $498. Like, cammed and head job. 6.2 litre LS3s make around $470. So Troy, the car on the hoist up there is the Misso's VP. It was a V6 Buick. We have an LS1 for it, that we're LS1 swapping. I have all the conversion kit apart from the extractors at the moment, so we're still a little bit of work in the engine bay to do. We're welding up all the holes and then it's going to be painted, but I'm probably just going to end up mocking the motor up in it, making sure it all fits nice. And apparently even with the conversion extractors, you still need to hammer them a little bit or re-weld a little bit, so probably going to buy them, get that all sorted. And that's going to be her cruiser. Take it out if we go to any car cruisers, do that. And once it needs to go to the pits, get registered again, and obviously have to get engineered. So once that's all done, then we'll cam it, give her a bit of power, you know, and that would make 400, 430, whatever, with an auto, and then she can have some fun at power cruise and raw racing as well, you know. So that's basically it. So Josh, I've never on the Ecos replaced studs one by one. I don't personally know whether that works or not, so I can't make any comment on that. I've always removed the head and put a new gasket in. If you budget or have the mindset of you're going to need to pull the heads anyway, then just do them stud by stud, and if you're losing coolant or combustion, then it is what it is, so give it a go. But yeah, just be prepared that you might need to remove the heads anyway, and there's nothing lost then because ARP head studs are reusable. Oh, there you go. There's Cornfed said about the stock Ecos. That's right, we had a big section about what stock Ecos and L67s will do. Yeah, as Cornfed said there in the comment section. Oh, there you go. So it does work, doing it stud by stud, bolt by bolt, whatever you want to call it, which is great to know. What do you mean you've got a 5.3 Vortec NA? Is the Vortec the name of the motor? Yeah, Cameron will do. It does start and run. It just needs to, the rings need to be bed in, so Nick, we're going to take it to the dyno, and then once that's done, but I've got the keys up there, I could just put them in and start it, but I don't want to risk fucking the rings up. Hey, don't be dissing this beer. It's going to be backwards, I think, because of her camera. Is it? Oh no, that's reading right, I think. Next stream as well, I'm going to have the camera rotated. It won't let me do it. It's locked into this view. So in about 3 weeks, I'll do another one. Alright, so I know the Vortex as the brand or style, I think it's a brand of the side mount chargers. Supercharger, that is. Hey John, yeah, so the heads on this were done by Nathan Kyrie. They're the max effort ones. I supplied valves, which are the ones you can get from Intense sell them. I think it's, I don't remember the size, but the stainless or titanium, whatever they are, valves. Whereas max efforts, yeah, they should flow really nicely. So we'll be able to tell because it will make really good power, but the boost level will be lower because it's breathing. I've also got a Kyrie camshaft in there as well on the E-Spec for me to suit this turbo and a G42. It'll work for both. I had to use the biggest rear housing I could in this turbo though, so I was planning to step up to T4 for this anyway, which I did, but yeah, I had to. Right, so the Yanks call them Vortex. Righto. That's good to know, because as soon as I always read Vortex, I just put side mount. I've seen a lot of 5.3 bottom ends go 1500, so slap a turbo on, send it, put a cam in it obviously. It's pretty interesting because I'm looking at my phone and everything's reversed like it would be being the camera, but then I've got the laptop down just to the side. That's showing opposite, so just to the side, and so I can read the comments and everything's the right way. So it's quite interesting how it does that. At least I know for the next one how to set things up better. See, I've heard, I think the Vortex is what I've heard is what the Yanks have as the 4.2, which is very similar to the Barra. Because on Hot Rod Garage I have one, and I'm pretty sure that was called Vortex, unless I'm thinking of another word. T5 is hit and miss. It's the exact same as Getrag, so people have blown them at 500, people have blown them at 200, people have blown them at 100. It's a lucky dip. Some people prefer T5s over Getrags, some people prefer Getrags over T5s. It's a big debate and argument, I'm not going to get into that, but they're just as good as each other, basically. So there'll be 2 dyno dates. One will be to bed the rings in and like a break-in, run-in tune, as people call it. And then after that, I'm going to do 500 Ks. Obviously, drop the oil after the run-in tune, drop the oil again, send it back, and then we're going to see what is the limiting factor. So I'm hoping that doesn't mean something blows up, but it means we run out of turbo, we run out of head stub, we run out of head gasket. And that'll be it for this setup. I have something in the works which I'm not letting people know about yet till it's done. And then that one will be a big one. But as for the date, I'm not saying anything because I don't want to jinx it. The girly talk again, listen to him. I said I'm going to send it as far as it will go. So I'm not stopping beforehand. But if it was lifting the head, I'm not putting more boost in it, that's just stupid. Oh, so the Vortex for 4.8. Not the 5.3. Yeah, well, look, Corn-fed. Tomorrow morning I'm gonna go get some oil because I have the new filter, but not the oil. So whack that all in the boot. So if I'm gonna try persuade that, so I'll just drop the oil and filter on the dyno and then yeah, try send it. We'll see. Yeah, truthfully, that is what I want to get done. I do want to get an Ego grey. I like the colour. Yeah, there's like a VE colour that's similar. There's Mazda 3, which is similar. Hilux. There's tons of cars that are similar, but the FG Ego Grey is the one that I really do like. So it's a lot of money. Closed door resprays are just through the roof. My old man is actually a spray painter by trade, so we'll probably end up doing it. But I just need to set aside a lot of time because the prep work, you know, it's 95% prep work and 5% spray job. And while this doesn't have dings and huge dents, there's a couple little spots and whatnot, and there's a lot of material that needs to be taken back. So it's a lot of time that need to set aside, but it will be getting painted because I fucking hate green. And the paint code on this is 897K, which is called Turbine Grey. But in a lot of different lights, it has a real big green tinge to it, and it does my head in. Like in certain colours it looks great, but the greenness, nah, not for me. Yeah, but yours turned out mint though. What's that been now? 3-4 years, and the paint still held on. So might suck ass, but it's worth it. Yeah, but Shy, I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure that they started with the 4.8s and 5.3 LSs before the 5.7s and then 6 and 6.2s. So technically, Australia is behind the times. Hack job or not, looks good on camera. I guess same as that, like that paint probably there looks great on camera. The headlights are pretty much yellow. That has a huge scratch right there from when it's been stored from me. I don't know if the camera picks that up. The rest of it's junk. The roof's fucked, boot's fucked. But that's a good from far, far from good. Well, I guess those people on the forums are uneducated because if people actually know shit, they know that LSs came in 4.8, 5.3, 5.7, 6 and 6.2. I might have even missed a couple there, but that's all that I know of. Anyway. Well, it is a VT. They are shitboxes by name, you know. Especially when they're automatic V6. Hey, at least yours is a Belina, hey? Or am I butchering that? Because that's an executive. Like that's base, you know. John, when you say 7.0, is that factory? Because if so, where, how, when, how much? Yeah, James, I was just out bush for the weekend, and what's in this esky here is the leftovers, and it was probably about 40 minutes till I was going to start the live stream, and I was like, the beer in here is all obviously warm because I forgot about it. I only got home like 11, would that be 7 hours ago and whatnot. So I was like, I better run down to the Saturday, get an ice bag, and just did that 40 minutes before the stream. So yeah, it worked out perfect. Had some beers already in there, just needed ice, but great setup. Oh, the LS7. Fuck yeah, I missed that one, didn't I? Good point. No, yeah, you're right, John. Yeah, didn't think about that one at all. Good point. And corn-fed, come on. VY is the peak of these chassis. Interior, the shape. You must have hated your VT so much you put a VZ front on, you know? Can't argue that one, surely. But yeah, that guy was saying, yeah, James, set it up like that yourself, which is just an esky. Esky and ice, like you said. Chili bin. I don't have the fridge in here yet. They said peak shitbox wrong. Yeah. Well, like I said, the executive, this is also peak shitbox. There's no lower model than this. In the VE, that's an Omega. Or in VF, I think it's Evoke or whatever it is they changed to, you know? It's as low as it gets. That's right, I remember you saying that. Yeah. I wonder if you had a different bumper on, if it would affect your IATs. Because if it hides a bumper a shitload, then surely the airflow. I don't know, I guess it depends on the intercooler as well. Oh, the VY suits anyone. But hey, look, if the young bloke isn't stupid enough to be a dickhead, then yeah, perfect car. Because yeah, while Ecotechs get ragged on, they've still got a lot of power compared to say like a little Excel or something. So yeah, perfect young guy's car. Yeah, right. That might help. Actually, is it a VZ exec bumper or SS bumper? My brain's just fried at the moment. I can't even. I can think of every other detail about your car apart from that front bumper right now. Oh, is it the VY colours of the black interior? Or is that just the VZ? Or is that the cream coloured interior? Because they're pretty nice. Well, the viewers are starting to drop, so it might be time to bail pretty soon, I think. I know people over east and whatnot will be getting late for them. I'll have to have a look at your photos in this after this stream, because I know the SS one has a nice big open gap down the middle. It might be something else you can look at, because then you just repaint that, slap it on, and you got a lot more airflow. Butchering words now. Does the VZ Seni bumper bolt on with the same front guards and lights as the everything else, or does it need all that to match it though, John? Yeah, either not gas or methanol, either one. I'm actually curious to see what my IATs are going to be with the new Plasma Man intercooler. I know my old one, they started about 40 and dropped to 36 on boost, so my old intercooler did really well, but we'll see what the Plasy can do. Yeah, true, Troy, but over here it's only 6:20, so I don't think there's many WA people watching me. It's mainly over east and whatnot. So I know some people, obviously people have families and their own lives and whatnot. It's a Sunday, you know, majority of people work tomorrow, so understandable that people would start to peel off. Like we were hovering around 20 earlier, now we're at 13 people. So I'll keep this going as long as everyone wants me to, but there's only so long you can string a cat for, you know. Yeah, right. So James, I thought you were going to be a Kiwi, but because from a Chili bin, but I didn't want to say anything just in case. But it's quite cool that you're jumping onto this stream, though. Look, you say we set the stand when it comes to cars, but there's a lot of you guys over in Kiwi land that have some absolute bangers of cars, especially when it comes to the Jack cars. Because obviously you can get away with murder there. Well, I'm not sure if that's everywhere, but I know from what I've seen a lot of places, you have some cool shit going on. Look, can't argue that again, corn-fed. Definitely need to make more boost. I just keep having issues every time I go to Bedano. Something happens that stops me. Hopefully that's going to change because I spent the last year rebuilding this thing. Oh yeah, John, that's fair enough. Oh, well, that's something that corn-fed can look into then, I guess, and see if there's a bumper change or just ducting to help him. Or like you said, he just needs more NOS. So straight out of Australia, we covered this earlier, but a recap. A dead stock eco. People have gone 497, I think, from memory on a dyno. A lot of people will just drag strict tune cars, so it's hard to say. Corn-fed Boost might have more of an idea on that question. And John, I run a Link ECU on here now, so Justin tunes it. I don't need to go to Al. There's two reasons why I went to Link ECU. One, because I can mess around with stuff and tune it myself, because that is something I'm very interested in and I thoroughly enjoy doing. Also, Justin has always been my tuner since day dot, and being a standard ECU needed a cal maker for the map tune, so obviously Al Gibbs did that. So Al Gibbs came to Justin's workshop and tuned there, and one time I did just go straight to Gibbs because it was easier than trying to align the stars with dyno time at Justin's and Al's free time. But yeah, so Justin's my tuner. I got a Link ECU and I try to do what I can when I can as I learn. You can make more than 450 on a dead stocker. Just for how long, who knows. If you get valve float, who knows. It comes down to the motor itself again and whatnot. Yeah, as Cornfed said, they will go as early as 380 or 450 and around there. I better clarify that as well, John. There's nothing wrong with Gibbs at all. It's just if I make any changes to this, it's good to be able to jump on the ECU and change it myself. Like with this, I changed to drive-by-wire. I was normal cable throttle and everything else. I was able to just go into the ECU, set everything up, all my new sensors, all my new wiring allocations, turn key, and it started. So if I was still using factory ECU and locked with CalMaker, I wouldn't be able to do that at all. So there's multiple things. Also, now I do have the rotary dial, so I can change that, but also say I'm at the drag strip, the strip isn't holding the power, I can go in, turn the boost down or whatever, or same at Roll Racing. So same thing like that. It's more user friendly, but Justin is also my main tuner. So that, yeah, I guess that's the best way I can word it. Nothing wrong with Gibbs at all. It's just, yeah, it's better for me being on a link. love these quiet moments. Yeah, the 253, 304, 308, in Peru, as far as I'm aware, they were strictly Aussie built motors. The fact that you have I'm assuming you mean Eco, well yeah, coming to VY, yeah, so Eco 90,000 Ks on it, that's insane. Like, I haven't seen one that low forever. Do you know if that was Series 2 or Series 1? Because I can't quite remember, it was just L67 or Eco as well, but I know one of them in Series 2 had the L32 rods. It might just be L67, I'm pretty sure, but that's still though, 90,000 Ks, that's pretty good. Yeah, VT to VY the same chassis. It is literally just basically the front and rear that are different, and also obviously the interior. Everyone has a preference to what they like. VY to me is the best out of all of them. When it comes to HSV though, the VZ front I prefer, and I think the VZ rear bumper as well. You know, like Clobbies and Senators, but apart from that, VY for me all the way. It's personal opinion. It's what you like, what you don't like. Yeah, well, for the Series 2, if Egos did get them, and you might have the good rods. Like those rods will go 700 plus all day. That's only if they have the L32 rods though. Yeah, so 130 pound valve springs are more than enough. I ran 105s and you'll still get past 15 psi on them. In this here, I run 135 LBS dual springs. You don't necessarily need a lot of spring pressure for amount of boost. There's a lot of different things about it which I've only learned kind of recently, or relearned. My mate told me about it, but it kind of blew over my head because I was like set in my ways. But Nathan put in 135 LBS springs in this, and he said that will take all the boost and all the RPM without valve float. So it's a mixture of different things. But yeah, on a stock Eco, yeah, 130 pounds would be fine, but you must run a double row chain. Don't bother with a single aftermarket or factory because it will snap. And if you don't believe me, go look at Carnage. Everyone told him in the comment section, he didn't listen. He put them in, and sure enough, I don't remember how long after, but he snapped the chain because he had too much spring pressure. Yeah. Well, look, Confed, you make a good point, because the old school cars, well, I'm going to call them old school because I'm still young. They do look amazing. Well, there you go. Stock springs will get you to 15 to 20. If you're just going to do that though and you want some security, I'd go to 105s. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people have ran 17-ish pound on stock springs, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion and budget and what they want to do, and effort and time, I guess. In saying that though, corn-fed in your Beamer. Oh yeah, well there you go actually, I'll cut off there. So Kevin didn't have valve springs done. Interesting. There you go. 23 plus, just ARPs. And the man himself, Mr. Cornfed, what was it, 1080 you ran as well, the record for Kevin. Which is a shame that Skid Factory bought it, because they're going to put a piece of shit engine in it. Well, not piece of shit, but you know, it would have been cool to see the Eco L67 platform keep on going, but it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, sweet. I'm keen to see that BMW go, see what she makes. If you do take it to the drags before it sells, see how she goes, because that'll be really cool. I'm not sure if everyone from my channel that's at least watching at the moment is subscribed to Corn-Fed Boost, but he's also another eco guy. He's got a 900 plus horsepower turbo eco, and then he's doing a turbo eco BMW that's been converted. So if you want to see more V6 Commodore stuff, jump onto his channel as well, because you might as well double up on the content, you know. At least subscribe, so it gives you the option. So Shy reckons you got an executive bumper. Maybe have a look at the SS bumper then, Corn-Fed, because I've seen a few VY guys that convert to a VZ front end and they put the SS bumper on, and that, I know you want to hide the bumper, but in the topic of IATs, it does have a big cutout in the middle, which does show a lot of the intercooler. You could always spray it black, which apparently does help with IATs too, but that might be another option, because that should just slap straight on. Yeah, I saw that coming, but it was always I don't know if was it always an inside joke that they hated it, or they actually did just hate it, but I never really saw that car getting too much attention as that. But it would have been cool to see Skid Factory continue on with that, because they have, not that they know anything about yourself, myself, or any other big hitters in the 3.8 world, but there is enough people out there that know enough information that could have got something sorted that would have a decent build. That would be different, because they've got a huge audience. So it would have been really cool just to see our platform do well publicly, I guess. Yeah, sweet. It'll be good to see the Beamer there. That'll be a really cool video. And no worries, anytime. Anytime at all. Now that the borders are open to an extent too, you might, I don't know about this year because things are still up in the air and whatnot, maybe this year, but you might see a collab soon. Nothing major, will just appear in the same video. Like, it won't be our cars together. Like I was saying earlier, that won't happen. Oh, that's another thing you missed as well, Corn-Fed. They were asking when we'll do a collab and have our cars together, and I was stating how, I know you were there. Yeah, you said Red Center Nats, but yeah, that won't happen for a while, because that costs a lot of money, a lot of planning. But there's plane tickets, so you might see either one of us in each other's videos from time to time, which would be pretty cool. Just keep the 3.8 eco gang going. Yeah, well, if you do it right, you know, like word it as Nugget Garage's old engine or Kevin's old engine, that'll be cool. It should, people search for that crap, it should come across, you know, which would be really awesome to see. But yeah, it would be really good to see Big Channel do an eco thing, because it would just help. That's it, Thomas, get onto it. He's got a lot more views and a lot more videos and a lot more content than I do, which is actually ironic, because I think I was watching his crap before. I was definitely watching his crap before I started my YouTube channel. And I was talking to him as well before I started my YouTube channel, but I don't remember. I think I already had bought this before I started watching his channel. But anyway, I've been watching his stuff for years, you know. And well, it's his channel that inspired me to start mine, because I was like, well, his is doing really good, and I thought he gives me something to do on my week off, and I'm building this car, I might as well film it. So yeah, it's been cool. Hey Seth, earlier I was stating it's going to hit the dyno twice, one to bed the motor in and then one to rape it. I'm not stating when the first session is because I don't want to jinx it. It's already been delayed twice for certain reasons, not on my end, but that's alright. Hopefully soon. But look, as soon as it happens, if you're not following already, I have a Facebook page called it's like VY V6 EcoJet Turbo Build, something like that. As soon as it happens, it will be posted there with everything, and obviously these videos on my channel are delayed by a couple days or a week or two, depending on how many videos in queue I already have filmed and edited. But hopefully soon. Look, if it doesn't happen, I've got 2 more days of my break before I go back to work. If it doesn't happen then, it doesn't happen then, but I'm just going to tell him, look, it's going to have to happen the next one, otherwise I'm just going to have to drive, because it's been sitting here for 3 months and ready to go. It's just wasting my time. The drag strip's closing soon. Yeah, there's a lot of, I don't know if they're in the roof or in here, but yeah, it's a big space in here, so who knows where they could be. The microphone in the phone must be a lot better if it's picking up all that. The next one, while I'm at work, I might try to source out a microphone setup so it's clipped on me. This was literally like a last second thing I decided to do. I honestly didn't expect it to go as well as it did. Like, we still have 14 people watching and I'm an hour 40 in, which is insane. Like, I thought I was going to have 1 or 2 or 3 people and I'd be like, oh, this is shit, I'm bailed. But I had like 22 people within 10 minutes, which was awesome. So I'm actually pretty chuffed with how this turned out. But I'll try to get something better for next time. And for people who've just jumped in, the phone's locked in a way that if I rotate it to landscape, you guys will be viewing things 90 degrees, it won't be bright. So next time I'll have it set so it's already in landscape and it's all good. Is it clear enough for you guys? Because it is just my phone front camera. So going from auto to manual, you need to find the park neutral safety switch and bridge it out. And then pretty sure as well, you will have to change some wiring for the plug at the gearbox to get the reverse lights working and the speedo. I've never done it. This car was actually a 5-speed Gatrag manual from factory, which is really rare from an executive to be like that. But that's the gist of it. And cheers, Joshua. Yeah, I'm really chuffed at how it went for a first stream. Never, ever expected it to, I guess, blow up like this. So I'm pretty happy. I'll try do another one on the next R&R in 3 weeks, because I've enjoyed this, and it's been pretty cool to be able to talk to you guys in live time instead of when I can get around to replying to comments. How is your build going, actually? Because it was a while ago when you came and got parts off me, so I've been keeping an eye out on Facebook to see when you posted anything, but I don't remember seeing anything recently. Yeah, well, even if it doesn't get better corn-fed, like if it stays like this, I'll be pretty happy, because the combo's going well enough, and then a couple of moments where it's at a standstill, which is fine, you got to expect that, but yeah, it's probably helping that you're here, to be honest. You get a lot of viewers from your channel and whatnot, and we're just sitting here bantering. straight out of Australia as well. I was just talking about the electrical side of things. Oh no, that's what you asked, wiring wise, yeah. It should just be the neutral safety switch and then the plug at the gearbox. You just have to find the wiring diagram to find out what's for the reverse lights, what's for the speedo. Yeah, I guess it's a little bit more relatable for a lot of people that V6 talk, because not everyone, I don't remember exactly what states, but I know in quite a few states on a P plates you're not allowed a V8, so a lot of people have V6s, and V8s can be, especially now after COVID, V8s can be very costly, so yeah, it's cool. But look, this car's for life, I'm not going to sell it, same as the VE. Those two will always stay with me. So in this channel there will always be V6 content, whether I'm working on other cars and this is in the background or I'm going out for a drive, this will always be here. If I get stickered, I'll just reshell it, so it'll still be V6 content. But yeah, I'm not going to be one of those channels that start with a little thing and then buy something else and then everything else is forgotten. It's, this channel is built around that, it's going to stay around that. Obviously other things in there as well, mix it up, but it's not going to be like, oh no, I'm above that now. I'm not like that. Yeah, I could imagine corn fed. It's probably it's one evening gone a week. I'm pretty lucky, but I'm only home every few weeks, so even that might burn me out because I only get 7 days to myself. And by myself, I mean house chores, time for miso, got to catch up with family, everything else as well. So I can't guarantee this is going to be a regular thing, but I'll try. The switch, like I said, I've never converted a car to manual, but I believe it's by the shifter, like the shifter selector in the center console. I believe it has 4 wires. If you search up your model on Google and say like the neutral safety switch bypass, it should come up, because that's only how I know, because I've searched it myself, because people have asked me. Look, name Zach. I'm not going to say too much about Zach Baldy because he's done really well for his channel. I'm not the biggest fan of him because he's a little soft for my liking. I don't deal well with people like that. But the way I see it and it was portrayed, this might be completely wrong because I'm only seeing what I've seen and it's my opinion. He got scared of the FG. Like, I never saw him do a full power run, never get on boost properly, or he's backed off, or like hit boost and back off. I see it as he was scared of that car. FG's a great car, the Barras are fucking amazing. Like, that's why I bought the one off my cousin, because it was too good to pass up. They're just so good. I see he was just scared of that, and the 33 makes bugger all, like, yeah, it's a fun street car, but it makes bugger all power, and that's probably power he's comfortable with, which is understandable. Everyone's their own person, There's no bad thing if he's scared of that, but yeah, it's going to stay focused around this with other stuff thrown in. Seth, look, it depends what your end goal is, or power goal, or using the car for. A stock motor build is perfectly fine. As I was saying earlier, if it's factory ECU, they use a fuel cup. Stay off the limiter. That's what really destroys them, is people just sit on a limiter, and then that's what cracks a ringland or cracks a piston. You'll be fine with that. There's nothing wrong with the stock build at all. So do that. Another good way is if you get good parts, so decent turbo manifolds, injectors, fuel, like fuel pump and whatnot, run that, and then say you do blow it up, and you do forge it, you've got everything else around ready to go. It's just the bottom end you're sorting out, which is the way mine was. I had really good turbo manifolds, I had a really good exhaust, I had a good fuel pump, good injectors, good wastegate, etc, etc. And all I had to do was just, like when I went forged, all I had to do was put that bottom end in. Everything else went around it and it was fine. So there's good ways to go about a stock motor. So that's still fine. Josh, I absolutely love wagons. Like, I wouldn't change this to a wagon because the sedan's awesome, but I have a soft spot for wagons all the time. But yeah, I'm more of a fan of sedans and wagons than utes, 100%. But yeah, nothing wrong with wagons at all. Oh yeah, Seth, it's definitely fine just turboing a stocker. Like, I've had two motors, two stock motors in this. Both didn't blow up because of me. Both unfortunate, but yeah, stock's fine. Oh no, is it? I haven't actually seen that. I don't really watch his channel too much. I watch it from time to time because, like, you know, I like cars. He works on cars. He has some cool cars. So yeah, I do watch it, but I don't remember seeing that. He was hating on people who foot flat. Interesting. Obviously, there's a time and a place. You don't sit there every video doing it, but that's interesting. Blow the lid off the plenum. Fuck. No, it's not in the shifter. It's external to the shifter, but it's in that area, in that center console area, I believe. It's a white plug or something. I don't think it's near the gearbox. It's actually inside the car. Like, I could be wrong once again, but this is going off what I remember from what I've seen commented or posted or searched myself. But like I said, search your model name of your car and neutral safety switch bypass or manual conversion, and it should come up. Well, Josh, what was yours again? Was that a sedan, wagon, or you? I can't remember. It's been so long. So Seth, whereabouts are you? Have you not started yet, or have you got a couple parts already? And I'm sure Config can jump in as well. Look, Josh, for you, I will, because I know you're not an idiot, but as long as it's not a street-driven car, because I don't know if you've seen the videos, it will just throw flames everywhere, and it can only be done on a VY, what do you want to call it, like a VY tune. Obviously you can plug it ECU into other cars, but it doesn't communicate to the dash. It just throws up errors and it just shows it's like stuck in one gear if it's auto. But yeah, message me on Facebook. Yeah, you're not wrong there, Cornfed. This is kind of a weird full circle kind of thing. I've watched Confed's lives for over a year, and now he's here on my stream helping support, which is kind of cool, but really weird. White plug is for the little light globe and the power button. Yeah, I might be wrong, man. Like I said, just Google it. I've said what I remember, and obviously it's not right, so there'll be something there. Hey, look, if I look tiny, that's a bonus because I'm a fat cunt. Hey, come on, I'm drinking the best here. I've got a big poster thing in the side there, but I can't be bothered moving the phone and setting it back. And I'm in an oversized shirt too, so it's like I'm wearing a dress and Anyway. Oh, the misso banging on my door soon, a messaging saying dinner's ready. What I want for dinner, or hurry up. I can see it happening. I see it happening. Auto zooming full screen. Jesus, poor you. My face on your phone. You talking about Zach, James? Oh no, you're talking to Cornfed about you set up about Esky and whatnot, aren't you? Oh, I'm just wrong again. Right, so Seth, start with an in-tank fuel pump. So I have a Bosch 040. People often mistake that as a 044. 044 is an external pump, 040 is the internal. That's what I have. A Walbro 255 is basically the same as an 044. Or go a Walbro, or now they're called TI Performance 460 in tank. That's more than enough fuel for everything you throw at it. And also look at some injectors. So I used to run the Siemens Deca 60 LBS injectors, which will get you to 500 plus and 98. Otherwise, go for Bosch 1000 cc's, about the same price, I think. That's where I'd start. And then you got the fuel system, you got the injectors. Cornfed Boost said that the stock valve springs will get you to 15 to 20 psi, which is more than what you'd want to run anyway. Otherwise, look at 105 LBS or 105 pound valve springs, and go from there. If your budget allows it, look at ARP head studs. That's always a great security factor. Apart from that, everything's glazing off the top of my head, so that might be where I would go for a fresh stock build. No dramas, Josh. Enjoy. Yeah, James Yeski's a good thing, but yeah, look, he might be an idiot, but he's doing something right, because look at the subscribers he has, you know, and the views. He's gone backwards and forwards. He went part-time YouTube, full-time YouTube, part-time YouTube again. And that's it. Oh yeah, and as Cornfed said, Seth, tune. I forgot that bit. Tune. Most important bit. But yeah, I don't want to rag on a guy when he can't defend himself. He's not in the chat. But yeah, he's an idiot. But each to their own. Alright, well, we're coming up to 2 hours soon. I think I'll let it just tick over 2 hours, and then I'm going to finish off this stream. We've actually picked up in numbers now. It shows 17 people, which is pretty cool. This car, well, that black one I guess is my baby, but this one here is my baby. You know, it's been through thick and thin with it and forever working on it. It's never gonna leave the channel, and I'm never, like you said, not gonna get big-headed or whatever. I started this channel to get V6 content out there and show that it can do well if it's done correctly and not a hack job, so it's going to stick around. Cheers, Larry. James, hit up, there's a guy called Mike Smith. Jump on like the Turbo V6 Commodore pages on Facebook. Mike Smith, I don't think he has a dyno or anything, but he can write up good tunes that'll get you going and whatnot. He'll be the guy to talk to. Tunes definitely should not be $3.5 grand for that, but yeah. Seth, look, the Mace Cam kits, they will work, but there's a lot better options out there. The stage 3, you need your valve guides machined to suit the lift. So that's extra money and time. I wouldn't bother with that, especially for a stocker. I'd just go over stage 2. But there are a lot better cam choices out there for a turbo ecotech. There's a fair few shops around that do them or can spec them. So yeah, have a look around before you bite that bullet. But as Cornfed just said, then there's a lot better cams out there, and it's not exactly worth it for a stocker. Hey Jade, yeah, it's been an absolutely amazing turnout, and there's nothing to forget about. It was a spur of the moment last thing, so cheers for dropping in, and even if it's for a split second anyway. Oh, there you go, Delco Wizard's right there. So that's exactly who I recommended earlier. He'll sort you out. Oh, he has a dyno. There you go. I wasn't aware. Look, Larry, obviously it's not completely just in the tune, because the cam in this hasn't been tuned to make it sound lumpy. That is naturally that. But a lot of the point that I try to put across is, oh, there we go. I think it cut out for a second. A lot of people will like ask, what cam should I get for a lumpy idle? Which isn't the right, like I used to be all about that until I became I educated myself, asked people and learnt things. A lot of people will just ask for cam choices because they want the idle. The idle, like 85% of the time, can be tuned in. So you should be asking what cam will perform how I want it to, whether it's low down power band, high up power band, etc., etc. Cheers, Delco. I'm actually pretty chuffed that you jumped in here, because you've got a wealth of knowledge as well. So that's awesome. But yeah, so look, you can generally tune the idle into a cam if that's what you're after, but you shouldn't be getting a cam just for the idle, which is also why that white farm hack that I have, that I played, like that took me probably 3 months to dial in. Like it drove like shit till I dialed it in, and it took me maybe a month to get it so it would lump. That's a dead stock ecotech with 330 plus thousand kilometers on it. But I got to lump its head off. That's just proving that it can be put into the tune. Whether it's good for the motor or not is another completely different conversation. But yeah. Fuck, I've missed a few comments here. Sorry, I'm looking away from the camera because I'm looking at the laptop. Yeah, Thomas, that well, sounds like a good car. I wouldn't necessarily be getting rid of it. Oh yeah, and where is, yeah, as I was just saying about that stock BY. Nukin, yeah, as you said, I know there's definitely one tuner in there. There might be a couple. A couple more seem to pop up from time to time now. I'm not sure if they're just doing Tuner Pro hex edits or if they have CalMaker. And as Cornfed said perfectly right there, pick a cam to complement your setup. Don't go just for the sound, because like I was saying, most of the time that can be added in. Oh, where are you from? WA? Oh, Perth. That's pretty cool. What's your car wearing? Is that a V8 or a 6? Because, yeah, obviously, as you can see, that's where I go from, and that's who did my VE, and nothing but good things to say about them. Yeah, my mate, he's got a, he was in the chat earlier, Ryan Sheldon. He's got a, I think it was I can't remember the name now, he's going to murder me. There's a GX8, GX8 Club Sport, which GXP Club Sport. So the LS3 and whatnot, and he got a what if you saw the numbers you would think is a small cam for it, but that thing made great power. It still made like 468 or 460. It made plenty of power, and the power band is so on spot for what they use it for. Like when he took me for a drive in it, that was insane. And once again, he didn't worry about the sound. He's just like, this is what we use the car for. This is how I want to perform. Justin the BOA spec the cam, put it in. I think it was like a 228, 232 or something, which even in a 6 litre, you'd be like, oh, that's tiny. But in a 6.2, you'd be like, what the fuck? But that thing made plenty of power, and that thing hauls ass. That threw you in your seat. So, yeah, there's a lot that goes into camshaft design, which I have no idea about at all. It's too technical for me. Yeah, 462, 682 Newton meters, that's great. Like as you said, you picked that for what? Highway cruising and good fuel economy and whatnot, but that's insane power and insane torque. Like you'd feel that all the time, which is really good. And just going back to Nukin's comment, like, yeah, my videos might help on that, but I'm not a tuner. Like, it's a hobby for me. Like, I know a little bit, but I'm still always asking people for advice. Like Cornfed Boost, like I flog his inbox asking for advice. Like every time Justin's tuning, I'm looking at what he's doing. I search the internet like crazy. Like in my spare time and whatnot, and if something's stuck in my head, I will Google the fuck out of it. I'm in so many Facebook groups that I just browse and view, and forums, and I'll search things and I'll just take it all in and watch so many YouTube videos. I try and learn. So there's definitely other avenues to figure out kind of what you want as well, but still appreciate it that you've learnt something from me or helped you along your way, which is cool to hear. Which is kind of why I almost made this channel, you know, because there's a lot of wrong information going out in some of the groups and whatnot. So I thought, well, I'll show you how it's done to some extent. People will correct me as I go along, and that's fine. That's how I learn. Yeah, that's sweet. That's generally how it goes. You go for a max effort per se, and then you'll dial it back so you can sit there and thrash it 24/7 and not have to worry about it. You know, you make 480, you take 2 degrees of timing out, and there you go. You're at 462. But he's like, yeah, go off and send it. Go set a limiter for 10 minutes. Should be right. Whereabouts from Perth are you wearing? You north or south? Because it'd be cool if I ever head to Power Cruise again and roll racing and whatnot. We have a race. That'd be cool. We'll just line up next to each other and just power skid the straight. Oh shit, way down there. Wow, you went a fair way to get your car done. Sucks about Race Wars finishing, because that was one of the main things I was building this for. I was going to go take the V6 title for it. It's done. So Seth, as I was saying earlier, I'm going to be limited by, I'll probably add onto this number, but 3 things. So turbo, when that runs out of puff, head stud, and head gasket. So turbo might run out at 750, it might run out at 900. I'm not sure yet, it's custom. 2 head studs, they're factory size. I don't know really when they won't have enough clamping force. Head gasket, I've got Cometics in there. They are known to leak or blow, whatever you want to call it, at 25 plus PSI. people have gone 30 plus, 35 plus on them. It's all hit and miss. Yeah, where I was the same, like, yeah, with my VE when I went to Power Cruise, I thrashed, that thing sat top of fourth gear, whole track limiter. Like, all I did was just drift and power skid there the whole time. And yeah, drove in, drove out, not a worry. Yeah, by performance, do great builds, great tunes. Yeah, comedics, you know, you always hear that they're the ducks nuts or whatever you want to call them, but oh well. Yeah, as Delco Wizard just said there, it's perfect. Cruel mistress that last years and years, or people just swap motors over motors and don't care. But Delco Wizard is, if you guys haven't seen before, jump onto his channel because he's got a lot of good content as well, and he's got some quick cars, a quick build and whatnot. And you might not know who he is on Facebook, but wealth of knowledge. No, all good, Nukin. No stress there. Yeah, Jade, but there's not just, his isn't just the head gasket. There's a couple things that helped keep that intact. That's not up to me to state what it is. Obviously, he's got his secret squirrel stuff that he's been doing with that, but you can't, the average user can't just slap a Cometic in with standard head gaskets and expect it to go to 42 psi. So, yeah. I've seen people blow them at 27 and then seen people have them last at 35. So it's setup by setup, luck by luck. There's different factors. Yeah, and Baz is one of the OGs for the L67 community. Yeah, that guy just knows everything there is to know about it. He knows how to work on them and get the good information out there. So if you ever see Baz comment on anything on Facebook, read it again, and then read it again, and then remember it, because it 99% of the time it isn't wrong. Yeah, well there you go, as Cornford said. So the factory setup, didn't have issues to have a 30 psi, so that's what I'll kind of be banking on around that area. I know that after I bed the rings in, I'll be retorquing all the heads again just to be safe. And Woodsy, so not off topic at all, mate. This live's about everything to do with me, the cars, channel, whatever you guys want to know. So I did explain it a couple of times. Anyway, I know people come and go. So that is a VP Commodore. It's the Missos. So it was a factory Buick, but we have an LS. She was going to 5-litre swap it. I convinced her to get rid of that. So she sold that, bought an LS1. We're LS1 swapping it. We have the full conversion kit, apart from extractors at the moment. So we've just got to finish a few things in the engine bay, wad up a couple of holes and paint it and whatnot, but I'm going to mock it all up in there. Get it engineered because it's unrego, so you've got to get it engineered, and then we'll cam it, and then that'll be her cruiser and events car and whatnot, so she can have some fun, because she wasn't interested in it till I took her out at Power Cruise in my VE and a couple drift events, and she wants to get out there herself, which is awesome. So that's basically that. That will be on the channel as well. I did ask, and a few people commented saying yeah, they'd be interested, so I'll probably film all those videos and then release them week by week. No, don't be sorry, man. All good. Hey Delco, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're enjoying your life and you're happy, then no one can complain. There's a lot of idiots on there that ask the same questions 20 times a day, so you're not missing much. And that's it, you guys, your viewers that are there, cornfeds, sussing something out, so it'd be good to see what comes about that, because it could be a game changer for a lot of people. This is going insane. What are we, 2 hours, 16 minutes in, 16 people on there. Well, probably 15 because I got myself on there at another account. For people who are watching, if I stuck to Sunday evenings, would you guys be keen to jump on when I'm home? Because I might just give the Friday a miss and I'll just do Sundays. Or is Sunday kind of a iffy day? Well, we're dropping. I might end it soon. It's getting a bit stale. And I'm running out of beer. Sweet. So, well, phone's gonna fucking drop. Lucky I caught that. I'm gonna crack screen. But I think my phone's gonna fall down pretty soon. That mount's giving up. I'm gonna have to order one. So I'm gonna end it here, guys. Cheers for jumping on this first stream. So cool. A couple people have said it. Sunday could work. So I'll be in 3 weeks. We'll be the next one because I fly out on Wednesday for another 2 weeks. So yeah, cool. People happy with that, resting up, end of the week. We'll do that. Yeah, that would be pretty insane, Delco. We'll just spin the tyres, eh? Just fry them. Alright guys, I'm gonna, like I say, I'm gonna head off. I'll see you guys in 3 weeks and for another live stream, hopefully. And yeah, you guys will see the next uploads happening on Saturday. So we'll see you then. So cheers for jumping in. Yeah, it's been pretty awesome for a first live stream. Can't complain. All good, Delco. Cheers for jumping on. Right, see you guys later.